Welcome back, everyone, to The Lazy Thinker Show. I'm your host, Jacob Wheeler. Joined with me, as always, is Tristan Bailey, the goddess, the god with the chain around his neck. And try to be sweet. And
the goddess. Ooh, I'm your goddess, boy.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah. I do be a bottom. You know how many times I've been called a bottom? Sorry. Just even people who like barely know me, they'll just be talking to me for a little bit and they'll just be all like, yeah, you're definitely a bottom. And I'm like, what? What the fuck?
I feel like I give off bottom energy too, though.
No, you give off top dominating. That's
not true. That's not true.
Well, I mean, you're at least top during our escapades. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, what happens behind closed doors is closed doors.
Yo.
So you're saying it publicly on a podcast.
I have not said it on my podcast. I said it on our show for sure, but not my podcast.
Sorry, Josh.
We're worried about quality over there.
I heard you guys are worried about quality over there. In fact, even on the Instagram caption, I'm seeing the shots. But you know what?
The shade. We'll have the Jacob versus Josh debate officially on the 19th. Hopefully, he scheduled a D&D thing on that night with his friends.
Oh, I heard. Yeah. So
we're trying to figure that out, but we'll get it. We'll figure it out.
He's made to be a podcast host. He's just well spoken. He's funny. He's witty. He's definitely made for it. I'm glad you guys found each other.
Quit kissing ass, trying to make up for that comment you made. Until you're on the podcast, there'll always be beef. So,
okay, fine. Fuck you, Josh. Is that better? Was that good?
Yeah, it's more like it. Josh does not deserve. You know what? He always talks shit every time he watches this show. He watches the episodes when they come out, but he's always got some shit to say. You know, he calls us lib cucks, and he last episode he's just all like, "Yeah, I don't want to watch the fucking show and watch you and Jacob be all like, no, I'm more liberal. No, I'm more liberal than you." Oh man, yeah, Josh is funny. He also be all like, "Man, y'all are so young." That's his favorite thing.
Oh yeah,
it's fun looking at you young guys talk. It's just like, shut the fuck up, Josh. I'm not young. I'm a grown man. And then I
don't know if that helps our case. You know.
No, yeah, we're young, but it's okay. That's the fun of it. That's what makes us so fun.
Because we'll grow on this together.
He also says we're a little too depressing. Apparently, he says, "Lighten up. Life is good."
I don't know. I wasn't blessed with I don't have happiness.
You were, yeah. What the hell, Jacob? I'm allowed to be sad. I'm the only one allowed to be sad. Josh is like a pretty smart guy, and you know he's charismatic and apparently optimistic. So he's got that going for him. You are. He also. I believe it's him. I believe it's Josh, or maybe someone else. Someone around me is just like, that's a handsome fella. That's a. I think Josh. Yeah, I think it's Josh, but I could be mistaken. But and you have a big penis. So
wow.
This isn't the. We'll talk more about that on Tigo, but this isn't that kind of show. But I just want to mention it. You know, it's just like I'm the only one who should be sad here. Everyone else is just trying to copy. They're just trying to be cool because I can't just have one thing.
You know, I don't know if the air has been a little different for you, buddy, but you open up YouTube and we made it, bro. 269 views on the last episode.
It's at 269 now?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's done more views than the 3 previous episodes combined.
I don't think me and Josh's podcast has ever like peaked past 100. Like that's insane. 269? What the
It's pretty cool.
That's crazy. People want to hear about that Ariana, boy.
That's right. And the show and the channel hit 50 subscribers. So little milestone, but it's still pretty cool. It's still from last week. So
50 lazy thinkers.
That's right. That's. I try to not laugh and agree with you when you said that, but shit.
That's okay. It's okay. You know, I don't. 50 people, huh? I don't think I even know 50 people. That's pretty nice. That's actually cool. That's really cool. What do you think was the reason? Do you think it was just like the title and just happened to pop up, or do you think anything else contributed?
Honestly, I really do think it's as simple as everyone being interested in the Ariana Grande scandal. And
good. We need to start talking about more popular stuff, then, even if we don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, and I created the official Lazy Thinker Show Instagram, and the TikTok has been made. So we'll start posting clips and stuff on there, and
Hell
I'm trying
yeah.
to get it out. So I probably maybe not this week, but maybe the following week, because I don't want to over promise on that. But the accounts are made. No one else can take the usernames, and soon we'll start getting some actual like vertical video out, which would be really cool.
And like we discussed outside the show, where we need a logo. I want a little cute.
Yeah, I really genuinely liked that design that you had that like concept you had sent me.
Yeah, I think that that's like the best case scenario because it's so cool. Lazy thinker, like a brain, is just so aesthetically pleasing, and I think that we'll make a cute little logo eventually. Because I think having
Yeah.
that, especially when you have the little lazy thinker in the corner during the episode, I think it'd be nice to have like a little brain,
Like
little
a
sleepy brain
watermark.
or something. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
something there that kind of adds a little personality to it, so it's not just lazy thinker, But
I don't know. It's exciting. I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's nice. It's nice, like I don't know, being able to do this again. So, but anyways, are you able to click that link that I sent you? That first link, the Fox hates Jewish people.
what a crazy statement. Yeah, I watched it.
You watched it?
Mhm.
Okay. What are your thoughts on that?
I
I'll
think
play it on the podcast, and then
Okay.
we'll give our reaction real quick.
The White House is now condemning a Fox News segment in which a host said this.
Obviously, I'm not black, but I'm Jewish. Would someone say about the Holocaust, for instance, that there were some benefits for Jews, right? While they were hanging out in concentration camps, you learned a strong work ethic, right? Maybe you learned a new skill.
Did you ever read Man's Search for Meaning? Vic Frankl talks about how you had to survive in a concentration camp by having skills. You had to be useful. Utility kept you
But we're
alive.
also
I was just scrolling TikTok and I saw that, and it blew my fucking mind that was said on mainstream television with their chests out, basically, essentially sympathizing with concentration camps and saying they actually gained some valuable skills from it.
I like how she was like, yeah, I'm not black. So she was also saying that about slavery as well. But she was using the fact that she's Jewish. So she was just like, yeah, I'm not black, so I can't speak on slavery, but I'm Jewish. And so the Holocaust, I think that you can't lie. It helped with work ethic. It's just like, what the hell?
Right.
What is wrong with you? That's insane. That's an insane take. That's crazy.
Absolutely unhinged take. And now it's I know the White House came out and officially condemned it publicly. Not that means much, but it's like, it's crazy. Like, it felt, obviously racism and anti-Semitism has always been around, unfortunately. But it didn't feel like it was this intense up to the last couple years. I don't know if part of it has to do with the Kanye West thing, where he had a lot of his fans that just kind of started sympathizing because this idol that all these people have started spewing all this low key, I mean, and high key at certain points, but just anti-Semitic bullshit that really hurt Jewish communities. It's just a lot of culture war stuff, and it's starting to breed more and more actual legitimate hatred towards minority groups.
Yeah, no, it's insane. There's like especially with the internet being so big as it is, really shining light on, like, even when we're younger, or it could, be naivety or something like that. But really growing up, it wasn't like, you didn't feel like racism was still such a giant issue. And then now it's just everywhere. You realize that there's still just this growing hatred. And now some people, they sound delusional. It's like when they say stuff like, oh, they have a good work ethic. It's like, there's no way you think that. There's no way, like, in 2023 that you are trying to defend the Holocaust or say that there was some good that came out of it. No, it was a horrible fucking thing that should have never happened. It's just
Right.
like,
I mean,
that's the end of it. That's the end of it.
Millions of people died.
It's like, I don't work at, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Right. Like, just think a little bit. Just take a step back and think. And
Man,
you were
don't be
right.
Such a lazy thinker.
Well, we can't associate our.
Oh yeah.
I saw what you were doing. Probably not the best.
Bad thinker. Bad. That was a water squirter.
No, you were right about it was the same argument that Confederate sympathizers used was, Like how is slavery bad? Because they're learning skills, they're learning trades while they're with us, and that was their argument to try to or make an argument for slavery to still, be a thing. And
Yeah, it's horrible. It's insensitive to trying to find any, like, I sort of get what they're trying to do, like trying to find some positivity in a very horrible thing, but it's just, that's not something you should try to do. It was a horrible thing that happened. There was no good from it. It should have, none of the slavery, the Holocaust, shit like that should have never happened, but it's happened. And, it's, yeah.
it's just weird that they're like still feeling the need to have that conversation. Like, we have other things going on right now that is more important than you feeling the need to give your opinion about the good things about the Holocaust. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, I got to talk about that with Tristan.
Yeah,
that's worth talking about.
It's insane, and they need to just, yeah.
So before we get to the main topic, can I just ask you generally what your opinion is of Elon Musk, just in general?
I think that he's just, I don't like him. I don't.
Yeah.
I think that he's just he's kind of a dick, and I think he gives me the vibes of just like he thinks he's smarter and better than everybody, and I don't think he uses his vast amount of wealth in the most productive way.
Yeah,
Twitter being the obvious.
No, for sure. And there's a lot, like he has a lot going on right now. But the thing with him, I used to like him. He used to be like everybody's favorite billionaire, the actual or the real life Tony Stark. Like, that was the vibe whenever he was like just doing the boring company stuff and made the flamethrower and the Teslas and all that. And then at a certain point, I feel like he jumped into the culture war where he picked a side, and right or wrong, or everything that he said from that point forward has been through the lens of whatever ideology he is currently associated with. And the second link that I sent you, NASCAR indefinitely suspended driver Noah Gragson for liking a meme making fun of the death of George Floyd. So essentially, I'm just a little context before the Elon thing. Over the weekend, there was a NASCAR driver that was suspended from NASCAR because it had gotten out that he had liked a meme on Twitter, basically making fun of the death of George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Because NASCAR indefinitely banned him, Elon Musk came out with a tweet and said, "If you were unfairly treated by your employer due to posting or liking something on this platform, we will fund your legal bill. No limit. Please let us know."
Oh, that's...
And it's like, that's the culture war stuff where it's like, he claims it's all about free speech and that we're violating the rights of free speech. But there is a line.
Yeah, it's the classic. It's the classic. Oh, I have free speech. That doesn't mean you can just that doesn't mean no consequences from what you say. I mean, it's just like,
yeah,
true. And you have a right to, protest and say certain things, but that doesn't mean that certain people aren't going to react a certain way, or jobs, or it's like there's still consequences to your action.
100%. And the thing with, I know we've talked about this before with Twitter, but like, he claims it's the new place for free speech and fully open conversation. He's been caught several times shadow banning people that disagree with him, straight up just like blacklisting certain things from being seen on Twitter. Whenever Threads came out, Threads was not a trending category on Twitter, but if it was a real trending page about what was going on in the world, it would have been there. And it's kind of happened time and time again. But the other thing is that oh, fuck, I forgot the other thing. Anyways, he's just such a well-known figure. He has a lot of people that really support him and look up to him. And yeah, I mean, like, it is a meme about the death of someone. So it's not necessarily like you're doing something awful, like you're doing the actual killing or whatever. But like, for the people who may be racist or may have these like negative feelings about people, for someone with that big of a platform to come out here and sympathize with that kind of behavior, and
validates their actions.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's only going to further create more and more divide.
God, sorry, Josh. Jacob's being a little lib cuck again. But
sorry, Josh.
Yeah, no, it's because I think a lot of the extreme right is they use the whole freedom. We want all of our, freedom of speech. We want our right to be able to just say what we want. Like, this is a free country, all that. They use that to mask hate. And I think that's the big issue,
100%.
because he's just all like, oh, they should have, Elon can promote, like, oh, they should have free, they could say whatever they want. And it's always in defense of like someone doing something insensitive or horrible.
Yeah.
It's like they should have that right, guns, blah, blah, blah. It's always just, this whole we're the land of the free is really fucking us right now. It's really like, yeah, we have a lot more freedoms than a lot of countries. Like that's the cool thing, but they think that we should just be this anarchist state or country where it's just like, yeah, we should just be able to do whatever we want because, yeah, as long as it's Christian and matches my values, and it's just like, it's stupid. Yeah. It's dumb. I'm in a weird section because I believe jokes can be jokes, horrible things. It's insensitive. Sure. I get it. I get why, like, especially extreme rights are like, oh, this is like, oh, I'll pay if you're ever fired for not being on my, like, okay. I mean, I could get it because it's like a joke, but still, it's not a good joke. You shouldn't be. You can make it to your friends or whatever. Blah blah blah. You're not going to get arrested, but you have to understand that these companies, they have an image, and they can't afford to promote hate like that. And that's when you make jokes like that, you're promoting hate.
Like when we talk about free speech, it's like it's the NASCAR's discretion to make the decision to remove him from their platform.
Yeah, he's not arrested. It's not like he's gonna. That's the thing. It's like he spoke. He was able to speak. He's not getting fucking arrested, incarcerated. Like he's not. Yeah. Nothing is being done to him except for his company being like, "Hey, like we don't need that type of person in our."
I don't want to like come off as, because I do agree, and I'm definitely on the side of I think jokes should be allowed to be made. I don't think comedians should be put under fire for certain jokes they make unless it's just like blatant, like stupid hatred. But generally, I think if it's a joke, I think it's a good thing to joke about things. Generally, it just makes it makes the vibe feel better. It just brings the best out of bad, shitty situations.
It's just those types of jokes, like with him, it feels, it's like sometimes it's not just jokes. To the internet or to what you're showing the world, it's like, oh yeah, look, I'm just joking around, but you could genuinely be a part of the problem. And then like outside in your own private life, you could be doing fucked up shit, or you could just be we want to end racism, not keep making an excuse for it, because that's what's keeping it going. Is like, oh, we let people be all like, oh yeah, you can joke about it publicly and then get millions of people to laugh at you. But it's just it's a weird, it's hard, because yes, like you said, joking, it's just joking. Laughing, especially about some horrible things, can be just a mood lightener. But that's if it's a joke. It's so hard to tell when it's just a random dude liking a meme. It's just like, it just feels like you're just racist.
The reason I brought up that story wasn't even necessarily for that tweet or the fact that NASCAR removed them. Seems like a pretty basic story, but it's the fact that Elon went out of his way to, I don't know, bring that more to light. The fact that, the right is under fire for saying what's on their mind, or saying, free speech, and it's not that like what he's saying or doing is bad. It's just the sentiment and the context and the way that he's doing it that is just like not productive or healthy. And definitely not saying, like, whenever I say the right, like I'm talking about the fringe right, and the fringe left is just as bad. The only difference is that the fringe right, the extreme right, that is the racism, that is the hatred, the anti-Semitism. The extreme left, just as corrupt, just as evil. They do things behind closed doors, but there's more like, we want higher taxes and we want healthcare for all, and they're just trying to increase the taxation so there's more things for society. And
to speak on Josh's behalf, because I know he's having an aneurysm right now, for the extreme lib cucks and republic cucks, whenever we say that's the extremes on both ends. For liberals, it can be a big victim complex, and they're trying to the extreme lib is typically people who want to have, it feels like they just want a problem. They're just all like, hey, I like, because especially like I support pronouns and all that. I think that's identify however you want, but some people, like, even when someone tries to respect it or they make a mistake, they're very like instant, crucify him and stuff. And that's the extreme. Like, a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, this is my pronouns. It's actually what I identify as. And people are like, okay. Both sides are just a bunch of, they just like to play victim, except the extreme right is just all like, yeah, but I'm a victim because y'all are trying to make me a victim. And then the other side is just like, I'm already a victim. And it's just like, no, there's no,
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
there's no like, hey, let's just fix problems. Let's just stop being dicks.
Right.
I just like, the extreme left isn't hurting anybody by wanting to be identified as anything else.
Right. It's such a small portion of the population. Like, how the idea that it's getting shoved down anybody's throat is astounding to me. It means that you're going out of your way to look for that type of content, and you're going out of your way to look for that kind of conversation. If you go outdoors and see things, it's not like that. You see any person who's in the LGBTQ community, they're chill. It's the people that don't like them for who they are that create the problem and make it uncomfortable. Like,
yeah, it just bothers me. Hypocrites are one of my least favorite types of people.
Yeah,
I can be hypocrite. I mean, everyone gets a little hypocrisy here and there in their lives, but yeah, you're shoving it down our throats, and then it's just fucking constant religion in your face. Like, hey, you're gonna go to hell and all this fun. And I get it that not all. So it sounds like I'm a big Christian hater because I always talk about Christianity in a negative tone.
No, I see what you're saying.
But that's the extreme Christians. Just like there's extreme rights, there's extreme Christians. There's regular Christians that are just like, hey, I believe in God, heaven and hell, blah, blah, blah. God doesn't hate anybody, doesn't hate homosexuality. It's, whatever they say. But it's the extreme Christians that genuinely just wish ill upon the LGBTQ, and then they think that they're just, their way is the superior way. It's okay to believe. If you believe, hey, this is what I believe, this is what I think is right, but the whole that I'm definitely right, like you gotta believe in what I believe, and you're a terrible person if you don't. And it's just like the government rights, people use freedom of speech, all that as a mask for hate. It's using it, the people that use it to cover up hate is just my problem. I hate when people do that.
And the unfortunate thing is that the United States of America and God and Christianity have been like this from the get-go. It's in our Pledge of Allegiance. It's, churches don't get taxed because they get that exemption. And it's a very like symbiotic thing, and it has been for a long time. And now there's just more and more people that are more open and willing to express themselves how they want to be expressed, that may slightly go against what the Bible or what the Word of God is actually saying. And people feel like that's what normal society is, but it's not. Just that mindset, that Christianity mindset, used to be so much more prevalent, just where it was like a huge part of everyday life. And now, I mean, like, not, and it sounds like we're trashing Christians, but like less and less people nowadays kind of go by that exact doctrine, and I think the people that are still following that doctrine, whether they intend to or not, they're intimidated and they're lashing out because they feel like the way of life that they've been taught is right is being affected. And I don't know, it's a tough situation because it's like how does it actually get fixed?
It shouldn't be like, hey, you this law isn't very Christian. You're like, okay, well, that's I'm sorry, that's you don't have to, like, abortions. It's like, okay, then you do not have to participate in the abortions. You can still follow, right. Like, no one's forcing you, like, hey, you don't make enough money, so you have to kill your baby. It's just, right. It's giving people the right to follow their beliefs, what they believe is the right choice, or what their morals.
I mean, life is such a weird, crazy, chaotic thing that, whatever you have to do to make peace with yourself and get through life, whatever ideals you live by, as long as they're not hurting other people or like really affecting other people, at the end of the day, everyone should just be allowed to do that. And like you were saying, like, that's where the hypocrisy comes from, is that normal society to all these extremists is Christianity and God at the forefront of everything. And how dare anyone else live a life that isn't exactly like that? And that's where it's hilarious that those extremists are saying that it's being shoved down their throat.
They're trying to turn me gay. They're trying to turn me gay. If you get turned gay, got some news for you. That you weren't turned. I'll tell you, you just realized something about yourself. Good for you.
So we had to just say that to piss Josh off, and now we can move on.
A real pissy segment for Josh. Josh is gonna be like, look, bro, I'm not a Republican, bro. I support, and it's just like, and then he's gonna be like, you're such a lip cuck. You're so young.
So young. What a great argument.
My opinion, my voice matters too, Josh. All right. But anyways, yeah, new topic because that was a hefty one, huh?
Yeah, I didn't like getting that serious, honestly. But so the only thing, the big topic or whatever, is that it seems as though found in China, a new human species that hadn't been connected before. It's obviously the Homo sapiens, the Denisovans, and these other species of human, like subspecies. And we thought we had the whole map figured out, but it seems as though we did not. And I'll just read the headline of this article. An international team of scientists has described an ancient human fossil found in China unlike any other hominin found before. It resembles neither the lineage that split to form Neanderthals, nor Denisovans, nor us, suggesting our current version of the human tree needs another branch.
Bars.
In the picture I sent you, like that's what the skull looks like, but you can see the lack of chin, and there's no real reason to bring that topic up. It's just like really cool that in 2023 we feel like we have it all figured out. We have a good idea of the history of humanity and where we came from and where we sit in the universe, and then we just get something dropped in front of us that
God drops a new update.
Right. It's like, oh, I guess we got to not think of it like that anymore and add this one and create another hypothesis. But I know we're hitting our time here, but just real quick, it's like, I don't know, like the idea, we feel like this is the first advanced human species. This is the farthest we've ever made it, and I feel like there's been a couple resets for humans where like our past has been reset for whatever reason, and whether it's a major earthquake or I don't know, a tsunami, or I don't know, something that kind of resets the scales a little bit and where humanity has to kind of start over. I feel like this isn't the first advanced version of humans, and I know it's been talked about before, but like the pyramids and all these other things that are found that kind of imply that humans were more advanced farther in the past than we initially had thought. It's a cool thought. It's also terrifying because it's like, shit, I bet those societies didn't think that they would go away.
Because if you think about it, our ancestors and the fucking early humans and all that fun jazz did accomplish so like crazy feats that like we would never have thought of, but it's because they had to, And I think a lot of our regressed intelligence per se, like towards the average human, is basically from just us not out of non-necessity. Like we don't have any need to, like everything that we learn is, there's still stuff we're learning to improve and also fix certain problems that still haven't been fixed. But like back then it was like, there were so many more problems. It was like, they didn't even fucking understand what problems they had. They were still learning about the problems. So it was just like, they were forced to fucking like figure some shit out. They're like, we have to, like, we can't just not figure this out. So it is cool that we've had that's why we've been able to grow and advance as we have, because we have that intuition, that need to know, so it's a cool thing about us.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like our phones nowadays, these are honestly crutches for a lot of people. It is an excuse to just not feel the need to know how to do much, and like trades aren't as common now, and like that part is very true. And it's a concerning part where knowledge is more generally spread, which is the good thing about technology and the internet. But if technology went away, we wouldn't know shit without and it ends up being a crutch.
I forgot what comedian it was. It was just like, if I went back in time, I don't know how I would how I would prove that I'm from the future. I'd be like, in the future we have cell phones where we can just like take with us and call and text and look up anything on the internet. And they're like, well, how does that work? I don't fucking know. It's just like, we don't know. Like, we just have all this shit that easy. Like, we can learn. Well, no, we can know a lot of information. We can look it up and look, oh, now we know this information, but we won't learn it. It'll just be like, oh yeah, we can read it. Okay, now we know. But like, people had to actually learn things. Like, it was not just, let me look up. They had to work for knowledge, and we don't have to necessarily work for, the basic knowledge. We just get a lot of it easy. Little click, little voice, little talk, and
Nah, for sure.
Grind for the knowledge. The knowledge.
The what?
Knowledge. That's how you pronounce it. People be pronouncing it wrong. It's okay.
No what?
Knowledge.
I've heard you say that like 7 times. I'm still not picking it up.
Yeah, it's because you're one of the lesser intelligent Homo sapiens. Yeah, so
Shit.
it's you lower life forms would call it knowledge, but it's actually no fuck. I forgot how to how was I saying it? Knowledge?
Something like that.
Knowledge. That's actually how it's pronounced. Yeah, you Americans. Yeah, I don't really, have such lazy language, you know what I'm saying?
I guess we can wrap it up. This was a weird episode, but
yeah, I was hoping to get a little silly, but apparently caffeinated Tristan is down for the serious talk with a few little quirks thrown in there, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Josh, if I know he's called us lip tucks before, but he's really going to be pissed after this episode.
Josh is going to I don't think he'll ever watch another episode after this. I think he's just going to be like, I don't even want Jacob on the pod. I'm going to D&D.
I don't think we said anything too bad, though. I really don't. I think we were talking about some extreme, sides of both sides, not the general population.
Because Josh isn't Republican. He's not a Republican, and we're not lib cucks. We're just fucking regular people who, just have some opinion,
Yeah, regular people who I guess are too young to have an opinion, according to some
apparently.
people.
Yeah. Apparently, we're too young and stupid. We don't know what we're talking about. Because how could we?
We live in society. We pay bills. We see how things are running. Sure, we're young, but yeah, you're right. That means we shouldn't have an opinion. That totally makes sense.
I did tell him, like, I get it. Like, I get why he has this, like, looking down thing. Because, like, when and it's even closer in age, like an 18-year-old, I'm like, oh. But then it's different because, but I also told him it's different because we're in the world. Like, it's not like we're young and we haven't really left our parents' house, so we're stupid and not, like, we're still stuff we're learning, of course, but like, we're part of the same world. We're doing the same shit. Once you're at least 21, it's like you've been in it. Like, it's just like, we've been doing this. It's not like we're completely stupid.
I don't think we try to come off as insanely intelligent either. Just our opinion and for that day. And I know we'll look back on some of these episodes in some years from now and think that opinions we give are stupid as fuck. And
yeah, we're so young. Look how young we were.
Yeah, older versions of us are gonna disagree with things we say now, and that's the whole point of human life.
I think that's Josh's point as well. It's just like he's still experienced life a little longer, so he just he sees us and he's just like, what y'all still got to go through. So I get it. It is what it is. It is what it is.
No, for sure. But hope everyone enjoyed the episode. In a couple weeks, I'll be on T-Gold, so I'm excited about that. We'll see how that goes.
We got one episode. Wait, what's next? Next week's just the 10th, huh? Or no, that's this week. Oh yeah, so we only have one more. What the fuck is this? Lazy Thinker, and then that weekend will be you on T-Gold. So, all
right. Well, everyone enjoy the rest of your days. Thank you for listening to episode 11 of the Lazy Thinker Show. We will see you next week.
Also, every little quirk, if I did any weird faces, that was for Jacob's girlfriend. I hope she enjoyed the faces this time. I kept forgetting because we were talking serious, but I'll try to do better next time.
I'm sure she did. But all right. Well, we'll see you later. Thank you guys. Goodbye.